What's up, Gooners? A Chelsea player just made a statement that's going to blow your mind about our striker situation. But wait, there's more. We've got exclusive news about Miles Lewis-Skelly's future at the club, and it's not what you think. Plus, Newcastle are about to sell some massive players, and Arsenal are ready to pounce. If you want the inside scoop on everything happening at Arsenal right now, smash that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and let's get into these absolutely huge stories. Let's dive straight into the biggest talking point, the striker debate that's got every Arsenal fan divided. Victor Gyökeres versus Julian Alvarez. And a Premier League striker just gave his honest opinion that's going to start serious conversations. Victor Gyökeres is in perhaps the best form of his life since signing for Arsenal. He's been brilliant, scoring crucial goals, leading the line with authority, and delivering in the biggest moments. But here's the reality. Arsenal are still looking at bringing in another striker this summer. Despite Gyökeres' recent form, he's been criticised throughout this season. There's still a feeling we could upgrade the position with someone more consistent and clinical. This is where Julian Alvarez enters the conversation. The Argentine has been heavily linked with Arsenal, and we genuinely admire him. He ticks so many boxes: versatility, work rate, technical quality, big game experience, and a winning mentality from Manchester City. Now here's where it gets fascinating. João Pedro, the Chelsea striker, was doing a TikTok challenge with TNT Sports ranking strikers. He had to categorise players, those below his level, at his level, and above him. According to Pedro, Julian Alvarez is at his level, but Victor Gyökeres is in the category below. That's a direct statement that Alvarez operates at a higher level than our current number 9. This is just one player's opinion, but it carries weight because Pedro plays against these guys every week and understands what it takes to succeed at this level. Both players are connected to Arsenal differently. Gyökeres is already here helping us chase trophies, while Alvarez continues being linked with a move to North London. But let's inject some context. Victor Gyökeres had the last laugh this week. Arsenal just reached the Champions League final by eliminating Alvarez's Atletico Madrid. Our striker delivered when it mattered most. That's worth more than any social media ranking. The question remains, should Arsenal pursue Alvarez? He's more mobile, drops deeper to link play, rotates across the front line, and presses relentlessly. But he's never been the main striker carrying the goal-scoring burden week after week. Gyökeres has proven he can handle that pressure. If we sign Alvarez, it's an extremely expensive deal, over £70 million plus massive wages. Is he enough of an upgrade to justify that? Or should those funds go elsewhere? Maybe this shows why keeping options open is smart. Competition drives improvement, and having two quality strikers could be exactly what we need. Now let's talk about Newcastle United's potential fire sale. And Gooners, this could be absolutely huge for us. Newcastle are expected to sell key players this summer, and Arsenal have expressed serious interest in multiple stars. We're talking about potentially raiding them for several crucial additions. The three names are Anthony Gordon, Sandro Tonali, and Tino Livramento. Anthony Gordon has been one of Newcastle's best players. Pace, directness, goal threat and quality in the final third. He's Premier League proven, homegrown for squad registration and at the perfect age to make an immediate impact. Then there's Sandro Tonali, who genuinely interests Arteta. Before his betting suspension, he was considered one of the best young midfielders in world football. His technical ability, passing range, tactical intelligence and leadership, everything you want in an elite midfielder. Most fans would say Tonali is the pick of the bunch. Him alongside Rice and Zubimendi would be mouth-watering. Tino Livramento is on our radar as a potential right-back. With Ben White's injury concerns and questions about backup, Livramento makes sense. Young, athletic, defensively solid, with attacking threat. Here's where it gets interesting. According to reliable journalist Ben Jacobs, Newcastle could actually keep one of that trio. And the player they're determined to hold on to might surprise you. Jacobs revealed Newcastle will sell Anthony Gordon. They are prepared to sanction a Tino Livramento sale, but they will fight to keep both central midfielders. Newcastle are willing to let Gordon and Livramento go, but Tonali, they desperately want to keep him. Why? For Tonali to go, it's going to be in excess of £100 million with bigger wages, big agent commission, and Newcastle might delay whilst they find another midfielder. £100 million plus massive wages plus huge fees. Newcastle know if they lose Tonali, finding a replacement of his quality is nearly impossible. So where does this leave Arsenal? Gordon appears genuinely available, a realistic target. Livramento is also available, but do we view right back as a priority? With White and Timber, is it worth spending significant money there? Tonali is the complicated one. He's clearly the most talented, would make the biggest difference, but he's also the most expensive and difficult to extract from Newcastle. After potentially winning the Premier League and Champions League, improving further is incredibly hard. But Arteta will look at how Guardiola continually refreshes City's squad. You can never stand still in football. My gut feeling? We'll go hard for Gordon if the price is right. Livramento depends on our assessment, but Tonali feels too expensive and complicated unless something dramatic changes. Now let's talk about Miles Lewis-Skelly, because his future has become one of the biggest talking points around Arsenal in recent weeks, and there's finally some clarity behind the scenes. The teenager has struggled for consistent game time this season, spending long periods behind Riccardo Calafiori and Piero Hincapié in Mikel Arteta's plans at left-back. Naturally, that lack of minutes sparked speculation about a possible summer exit, especially with other clubs monitoring the situation closely, but the reality appears very different from the rumours. According to the Daily Mail, there's a growing belief inside Arsenal that Lewis-Skelly is actually ahead of schedule in his development. The coaching staff reportedly feel he has exceeded expectations far earlier than anticipated. In fact, Arteta never intended to expose him to regular first-team football this quickly. The original plan was for a slower progression, with occasional senior minutes while continuing his development, mainly with the under-21s. However, injuries to players like Calafiori and Takehiro Tomiyasu forced Arsenal to accelerate his pathway into the first team much sooner than expected. That context is important. Lewis-Skelly was never meant to be a regular starter this season, so the fact he has already played significant minutes shows just how highly Arsenal rate him internally. Despite recent frustration over limited playing time, Arsenal still see him as one of the club's biggest talents. More importantly, Lewis-Skelly himself is believed to be very happy in North London and fully committed to his long-term future at Arsenal. That matters because there have been growing rumours that Arsenal could cash in on him this summer due to his pure profit value as a Hale End graduate. Selling academy players helps massively with financial fair play, but Lewis-Skelly's desire to stay changes the situation completely. He's not pushing for a move, and there's no tension developing behind the scenes. What's really interesting is that his recent opportunities in midfield may have completely changed his outlook at the club. Martin Zubimendi's fatigue and dip in form opened the door for Lewis-Skelly to play more centrally, and that role arguably suits him even better than left-back. His technical quality, composure, passing ability and tactical intelligence look perfectly suited to Arteta's midfield system. If he continues impressing there, Arsenal could quickly decide that keeping him is the smartest long-term decision possible. There's also another important factor: Ethan Nwaneri. The two Hale End graduates are extremely close, having progressed through the academy together for years. Nwaneri's difficult loan spell at Marseille has complicated Arsenal's plans ahead of the summer, and if the club eventually decide to sell him permanently, reports suggest Arsenal would prioritise keeping Lewis-Skelly at all costs. Arsenal know how important it is to maintain a strong Hale End core inside the squad. Players like Lewis-Skelly represent everything the club wants from academy graduates: talent, loyalty, dedication and belief in the project. My prediction? Lewis-Skelly stays, continues developing in midfield and becomes an increasingly important squad player next season. And honestly, that feels like exactly the right decision for Arsenal. Alright Gooners, that's everything you need to know from today's massive news update. And if you enjoyed this video and want to stay